Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah HaKodash, right? Dumb honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well. And peace and salutation to Yakim, just pushing his word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. This is the brother Zayan Amah from the GMS Detroit Bar Camp. All right, I want to come to you with another quick video, dealing with Jacob and Esau. Basically, this will be a response video to this nigga, side netter, which is just a nigga with no understanding, right? But basically, I just want to bring this out hey, put the nail in the coffin and to to teach the ignorant, to teach the sincere that may not know, all right, and give them some understanding that when dealing in Jacob and Esau, it's really pertaining to the seed and nothing else. And it's just the will of the Heavenly Father, right? It's no need to be carnal, you know what I'm saying? It's all about the spirit, because in the video, I think the brother Yashawambi has it up, or I believe he has it up, or I saw it earlier in the week on the GMS Shar Mouth page. It was a live feed of Side Nigga and some other nigga that didn't know what the fuck he was talking about, but he bringing out uh, the point, of the original man, and if the original man, is so-called black man, wouldn't be fair to say that Esau is a so-called black man since he came from the original man. It really don't even matter what Esau looked like or none of that. It's all according to the spirit, and more so the seed, right? The Lord chose a particular seed to rule, right, to have dominion over the whole earth in the kingdom of heaven, all right. So Esau being white, or rather red, is just an indicator, all right. It's just a warning sign, all right, to let you know, oh shit, okay, this is the enemy. If he looked just like us, it'd be a little harder to discern. But with him being pale, red, you know what I'm saying, it's easier to for to point him out of a group, you know. But even beyond that, it's according to the spirit, you know, because you have some Edomites that look so-called black, that have dark skin in the whole nine, but their spirit doesn't mesh, with Jake's spirit. They have a whole different vibe. You understand? All right, they can't move the way Jake move. 9 times out of 10, they don't eat, the same foods that Jake eat. Okay, they're not into the same things that Jake are into, and they don't have the spirit. They don't have the talent that Jake possess. Right? When I say Jake, I'm talking about so-called Negroes, Latins, and Native Americans. It's a whole nother spirit altogether. But let's get into it real quick. All right, this is Genesis 25, and I start at 19. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac. Okay. Even going back to Adam, yes, we know the original man was so-called black man, dark skin, right? Because we came from the earth, from the ground, from the dust of the earth. So we got that. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padanaram, the sister of Laban, the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah his wife conceived, and the triggers struggled together within her. All right, this is one point. All right, so let you know the spirits, they don't link up. All right, they don't have nothing in common. There's friction, there's war. In fact, when you're fighting, you're actually, that's a sign of war. All right, so since a baby from the womb, Jacob and Esau, the so-called black man versus so-called white man, all right, we always had friction, all right, from the womb to the tomb, all right. It says, and the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? Basically because she was barren before the fact. So if this is supposed to be a blessing of the Lord, why is there so much, why my belly, having so much turmoil? Why is there so much friction going on? Why am I having, so many complications? All right. And the Lord is going to answer. He said, and she went to inquire of the Lord, and the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb. All right. So now we understand it's two babies, but the Lord, he specifically said two nations. All right. Two families, if you will, two different people. All right. It said, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. So the two nations are going to have different mannerisms, and when they come out, they're going to be separated. They're not going to come together. They're not going to hold hand in hand. All right, they're not going to have things in common. They ain't going to want to hang out together and shit like this. All right, it says the one people shall be stronger than the other people. Another distinction. All right, so-called Negro, Latin, and Native American is much stronger. All right, physically, spiritually, all right, emotionally, in every way possible. All right, than the so-called white man. The white man has a weak nature. You know, all he has to lean on is carnality, which is his money and his guns. When he doesn't have that, he has no power. He ain't shit. All right. It says, and the elder shall serve the younger. All right, which was Esau. Esau is going to serve the so-called Negro, Latin, and Native American in the kingdom of heaven. All right. It says, and when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in the womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. All right, Esau. Let's just look that word up real quick. Esau, Ashashawan in the Hebrew. All right, hairy. They say hairy, but it actually means wasted away. All right, they going off here. Esau actually means wasted away is he. All right. Seer is a shayar, I believe is how you say it in the Hebrew, means hairy. Not Esau. Esau means wasted away. So they went off. But anyway, the first came out red. So he was described because he was distinctively different in his looks away from everybody that walked the earth. Because like side niggas say, the original man, we know the original man had pigment, had melanin, color, right? But Esau, he came out different. Again, like I said earlier, that was supposed to be an indicator to let us know who the enemy was, all right? Now, it says, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. All right. Now, just to get right to the point, yeah, okay, we know Isaac was a so-called black man. All right, an anomaly was created where he had a so-called, black child and a so-called white child. But even beyond that, it was according to the seed and to the spirit. All right, the Lord was creating a separation right here. All right. Now, when we go to Romans 9, right? Who are, who are written to the Israelites in Rome. He wasn't this letter is not addressed to so-called white people or Edomites. All right, it's this letter that Paul wrote was addressed to the Israelites that lived in Rome. Just like you have Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latin, and Native Americans that live in America. All right. But let me get right to it. It says, I'll start at 7. This is Romans 9 and 7. Needed because they are the seed. All right. Keyword seed. Let's look that up. Sperma. See that? Sperma.
Strong's G 4690. Sperma. Sperma.
Sperm. Right? Which you should know what that is. That's what comes out of your rod, when you ejaculate. Sperma. All right, which creates the seed. When the woman conceives, when she takes in your seed during the act of sex, all right, a seed or a baby is developed. Just like, because the woman represents the earth, just the same as if you were to plant an apple seed into the earth, all right, and then a tree, springs forth. It's the same, with people, human beings, all right. See, i.e., the grain or kernel which contains within itself the germ of the future plants. Okay. All right. A metaphor, a seed, i.e., a residue or a few survivors reserved as the germ of the next generation. Okay. All right. Family, tribe, posterity. All right. So let's go back. It says, yep, because they are the seed of Abraham, are they all children? But in Isaac shall thy seed be called. All right, so we went from Abraham to Isaac. Isaac, as we know, as I read in Genesis 25, had Jacob and Esau. We said out of those two seeds, all right, there's going to be a seed called. All right, now let's see which one. That is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of the Most High, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed, because there was a promise, right, given to Abraham in Genesis the 17th chapter, that he would be a father of nations and a company of nations. All right, referring to the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, even with Jacob, passed down to Jacob in Genesis 35. All right, you can read the same thing there, because those promises, carried down from generation to generation, through a chosen seed. All right, it's all about the chosen. All right, it's not about you or Edomite or any nation, dressing, keeping the laws, or saying he believe, even going out on the highways or byways. If you're not an Israelite according to the seed, all that shit is in vain. No matter what you look like, you can have the darkest skin and the biggest afro, all right, the biggest beard. It don't matter if your seed is not of an Israelite. All right, hey, the Lord don't know you. All right, and you're gonna be destroyed. Okay, it says, let's see. Yeah, these are not the children of the Most High, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. So the promise and the seed goes hand in hand. All right, that's what it's about. For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, for the children being not yet born, neither have done any good or evil. All right, this is referring to Jacob and Esau. All right, and we didn't know what these children were going to look like, or what was going to come of it. But it was promised. It was the will of the Heavenly Father to choose one seed over the other, to make one stronger over the other. All right, to make them have different mannerisms. All right, to have different spirits. Okay, it says that for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. So it's not according to when they came out. One gave more, gave a righteous sacrifice, or one, kept the law, or this or that. It wasn't according to anything they did in their life. All right, one was already predestined. All right, to rule. All right, to be chosen. All right, that's a spiritual concept that niggas can't understand. Which proves and shows that there's a higher power that's running this whole show. right? That's running this script, right? That's the director, right? That's the author of life, okay? What he say go, all right? It says, it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. All right, even beyond that, the Most High don't even like Esau. All right, you know he has no love for Esau. He loves Jacob. All right, that's what you should glory in. That's what you should appreciate, that you were born an Israelite. You know, so-called Negroes, Latin, and Native Americans, that you were born as such, and not only that, that that the promises are to Jacob. All right, the Lord didn't have to do that. Okay, but hey, it was set in the mind of the Lord, for the Israelites to rule in the kingdom of heaven. All right, that was his mo from the beginning. All right, it says now here's all right, this is a cut. All right, it says, what shall we say then? All right, what you gonna say now? Is there unrighteousness with the Most High? You gonna say the Most High going off? Oh, he shouldn't have did that. Why did he choose Esau? Or Salakia, why did he choose Jacob? Why didn't he choose Esau? God forbid. Meaning, hell nah. The Most High ain't going off. He can do what he want to do. You know? Who are you to say anything against that? Talking about, is it fair to say, that man, shut the fuck up. These niggas, man. Is it fair to say? No, it ain't fair to say, nigga. It's fair to say you don't know what you're talking about. That's what it's fair to say. You know, you don't know the Bible. It's fair to say that. All right. It says, for he saith to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. And that's pretty much the point. The Lord has compassion, all right, on the nation of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latins, and Native Americans. And what's the proof? Hey, he brought Yahweh Shai into the earth, to die for the nation of Israel's sins. If that's not compassion, I don't know what is. To send his only begotten son, the first created being, to allow him to come down in flesh and to suffer, the way that he did, all right, to be ridiculed and mocked, all right, to be hung up on that cross, They had those crown of thorns, mashed into his skull, to be looked upon and disdained, even growing up for, the scribes and Pharisees scoffing and trying to twist his words and this and that. Hey, the Lord ain't have to go through none of that, man. He didn't have to go through none of that, but he did it. You know what I'm saying? Just for the sake of the nation of Israel, for all our wickedness and stubbornness and going off. You know what I'm saying? For forsaking the Lord. He gave us an out. Because, hey, we couldn't keep the law. You know what I'm saying? Now it's a thing of faith, believing on his son, Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? That's the ticket. That's the key. That's our way out, of this hellhole America. Right? Otherwise, hey, you're going to be stuck and fucked, all right, in this bitch and destroyed by nuclear missiles, all right? And if you're smart, you wouldn't want that. So, hey, with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well. And peace and salutation to your opulence, pushing his word and truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom.